big snook on the fly, right there. Not huge, but he ain't tiny. Right on. Good job, Fast Jimmy Flies. First big one of the year. Yeah, that was my first big snook on the fly. Well, certainly the biggest one I've ever got on the fly, at least been out of the surf. Certainly here in Mexico. I've been waiting for that fish a long time. That did not take long this morning. That was awesome. The beast fly from Fast Jimmy got it done. Right on. That was awesome. Let's get another one. Man, I put so much time and effort in for that fish. That was so cool. I can't even begin to tell you what I've been through for that fish. The time, the expense, the planning on top of the planning, the organization, the lack of organization, reorganizing the organization, just dealing with, a streak where I kept losing fish and just wondering, am I ever going to be able to get a big snook on the fly rod? And there it is. Not the biggest fish in the ocean, but that was a good snook. And on the fly rod, so awesome. Fly rod in the surf, blind fishing, incredible. I can't believe I pulled that off. I'm so psyched to see if I can do it again. Man, that was just... Thanks, Fast Jimmy, for the awesome fly. I got the two-handed fly rod. That's an Echo fly rod. The Beach Boost thing fires pretty good. That was just awesome. Oh, man. So much time and effort went into that. I can't even explain. That was just finally a payoff. I'm so happy. Let's go do it again. While thinking about these snook and fishing these beaches, it's really what's between the waves. That's what counts. That's where it's at. That's where the snook are at. That's where I need to be to come one-on-one with these snook. It's not the tops of the waves, it's not the bottoms of the waves. It's really in between the waves. That flat space. It's a very kind of Buddhist way of looking at life and the ocean, but that flat spot between the waves, not too high, not too low, that's maybe where we should try to live our lives most of the time. Although, who doesn't want those high highs? But with them comes the low lows. So that flat space in between the waves, that's that calm space. That's where these fish live. That's where I want to be. That's where I want to be with my fly. That's kind of where I want to be in life most of the time these days. I'm not getting younger, so a little bit of calm never hurt. So I hope you're enjoying these films and the scenery even when we're not catching a bunch of fish. I just love it. I finally got smart enough to wear my booties on this beach every time now, instead of waiting for the waves to get big and getting the shit kicked out of my feet. guessing at this point you're asking yourself, how does John clean up? Because he's looking pretty gnarly. And I'm feeling pretty gnarly. Has my hair ever been this greasy? Yeah, it has. But it's not good. So you're probably wondering, what does he do? Does he just sit around and drink coffee all day and magically wait for it to not be greasy? Yes and no. No, I have a shower on top of my truck, but it's heated by the sun and it's empty right now. So I'll fill that up this morning. Let you in on that little secret. I basically scored making sure I had the ladder for the rooftop tent, because I use the ladder to access the water port on top of my truck. So yeah, today's going to be kind of a chill day. My hair's not getting any less greasy. I better get some water in the tank up here. I keep putting it off because it's heavy, but I'm going to do it. Really, all in all, this hasn't worked out too bad. Having this ladder is the game changer. Okay, then you take your giant bag of water. These bags are so nice. I had these things in the Bahamas on a backpacking trip carrying water, and they were so nice. They just molded inside our backpacks so well. Yeah, just kind of flip it on its side. It's really easy once I get to this point. Make sure the tank's closed. All right, off to the races. And then in a few hours, I'll have a hot shower. Well, a warm shower. Warm enough. Yeah, and then when I'm ready, I turn that valve. I can pressurize it with the little hand pump, or I can hook it to the pump in my truck, which I'll probably do before I take a shower. That way I can get some really good pressure. You might get lucky and get to watch me do laundry later. Yeah, I know. It's stuff I take for granted, because people probably are wondering, hey, how does John do laundry out there? I got ways. I've got ways. And then I guess if you're wondering where I get the bags filled, there's a little place in town that sells reverse osmosis water, so I just throw everything in the side-by-side. I got 2 of these bags and just an old Coleman thermos. I fill them up. That gives me 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.5 gallons at a time. So I usually put 5 up in the shower. I'll use probably another 3 for laundry today, and then I'll have that whole thermos full just for drinking water and brushing teeth and cooking and stuff like that. And I fill the bags up a couple times a week. All right, I'll let that heat up. I got things on the charger, and I'm going to keep drinking coffee and think about laundry. Okay, it's time to do laundry. That means going into the creepy storage shed. I cleaned it all out. It's supposed to be a little house, and it will be again one day. But right now it's storage for me. Yeah, so I think I ran off at least 3 scorpions and a giant centipede out of here so far. But now that it's pretty clean, I don't worry about it as much, except for this roof, but we're going to get that replaced. Here's another little amazing fact. That lock and that key actually still work. I don't know how. Of course, I don't know how long they've been here either. Yeah, you're coming too. Yeah, it's really not that bad in here. Starting to get some supplies put in. Start working on it here a little bit. Well, here's my little pile right here. The amazing washing machine. And the Foca. Yeah, let's go do laundry. Okay, I clearly can't do a whole lot of laundry in here all at once, but gets the job done. I only really have to do it like once a week. So just a little bit of soap. It's probably too much. We'll get some water in here. Ooh, that's ripe. Whew. Okay, turn the power on now. Yeah, I'm the power. So you're probably thinking, wow, John can't really do all that much laundry at once. And I can't. But you know what? My laundry room's got a better view than your laundry room. I guess I'm also in a position to wear stinky clothes for long periods of time without offending anybody. There's nobody here to offend. So this goes on for about 5 minutes. Instructions say 1.5 minutes. I don't believe that. I'm thinking 5's a good number. And then we'll drain it, we'll rinse it, we'll hang it. Doesn't get things like super clean, but it gets them fresh for sure. I mean, there's a lot of dirt comes out with the water, but if you get a little stain or something in here, this thing's probably not taking it out. Okay, I'm done turning on this thing. It's time to drain it and then the rinse cycle. So you're probably wondering, where does the Foca go when... I'm sorry. Let's do that again. So you're probably wondering, where does the Foca go when he needs to drain his soapy water? And, you know, I'm still green at heart. I don't want to just go trash the desert. So let me show you what happens with the soapy water. Okay, welcome to my old septic tank. So that's one of the nice things about this place, is there is an old outhouse here that hasn't obviously been used in 10 years, and it's just an old septic at this point. It's pretty full and everything in it's pretty dried up. But yeah, on this thing you just stick that little hose in at the bottom, release the pressure off the top, and she just starts draining. So I'm not polluting the ocean, I'm not polluting the desert. Just using an old septic for a little bit of soapy water. Yeah, the rinse cycle's not different than the wash cycle. There's just no soap in it. So this goes on for about 5 minutes. It says a minute and a half's good. 5's the magic number. Okay, the rinse cycle's complete. It's time to go drain this. Okay, there's no spin cycle. That was, you just saw it, that was the spin cycle. There's something though, I was just thinking, so aesthetically pleasing to me about hanging clothes on a laundry line. Can't really describe it. It's one of those things, you know, when you're a kid, you're like, what? That makes no sense. It's like, hey, go mow the lawn. Like, oh man, I don't want to mow the lawn. Now I like mowing the lawn. There's just something meditative quality about it. Some like gratification you get, like instant gratification when you're done. I don't know, maybe the laundry thing is a little bit like that, where, I don't know, I just like it. I don't know what the philosophy is behind it, but I like it. And it smells so good. There's, you know, it's nice to get nice warm clothes out of the dryer, especially in Idaho in the winter and stuff. But there's something too about these warm climates where you just get that sun and wind smell, I guess. Freshness, that's what it is, it's freshness. And spin cycle. And that's today's laundry episode. I'm clearly not the only person using four-wheel drive on the beach. Okay, y'all, here I am. I thought it would be a good time to kind of take inventory. I'm back here in front of the shed just to cut down on the wind and the ocean noise. So today is Saturday. I've pretty much been here in camp at least for 2 weeks. So I left Idaho on a Tuesday, drove Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, got to my first stop on Friday, supplied up, and then I came over here that night. So 2 Saturdays ago was my first real day here, and I spent that day just pretty much getting into this camp and getting it cleaned up. So the first week was really a bust. I spent half the time at least just cleaning up around here. Like I said, cigarette butts and pieces of glass and toilet paper and bottles and bags of chips, and man, you name it, this place was littered. I feel really good about it now. You could almost walk around here barefoot. I wouldn't, you know. Still some rusty bottle caps and little chips of glass I haven't got, but I'm just slowly getting it all now. Anyways, and I guess the following Sunday I went out and got skunked and beat my winch up on the UTV and had kind of a bad day, and follow that up with a week of just kind of struggling. I had a head cold. I was taking Dayquil every day, NyQuil every night, just trying to kind of get by. I didn't want to just get here and then just shut down. I wanted to get after it, so I tried. I didn't do great. I caught a couple, you know, snapper and corvina, enough to put some food in me, which was nice. So yeah, kind of rounded out that first week, and not, you know, thrilled to be here, but not really achieving goals. And then last week, things improved. Last Saturday, I went fishing with my buddy and his family, and I got my first big snook of the season. It was a really nice fish. I also got a big corvina on the fly rod, and I got 2 big snapper, another corvina on the spin rod. So was feeling really good last Saturday, and didn't film any of it because, like I said, I didn't ask my buddy if I could film him and his family first. So I just declined to do it and just thought I'd take a day off of filming, and of course I caught fish. So I go back Sunday the next day thinking, okay, sweet, I'm going back to the same spot, basically the same tides, nobody's with me, I'm gonna film and just rail fish. Well, I got skunked. You can't plan this stuff. You can wish and hope, but you can't plan it. So yeah, managed to get skunked, and then took a day off after that because I was feeling like an idiot, and then proceeded to fish again. Got a corvina on the fly rod again, felt pretty good about that, and just kind of messed around, and then finally got back into some snook and was super psyched hooking them, but I lost them. I lost back-to-back snook on the surf casting rod, and then the next day I lost one on the fly rod. That just broke my heart. That was a big fish. And so I kind of got on this losing streak, and then I went out the other day, and I think Friday, and actually caught another snook right when the battery camera and the SD card on both my GoPros went dead. So that was a no-go. And then this Saturday, well, that's today, I went out with Israel's brother, Manuel. I went for a very short time because I had trouble with the UTV, but I got a big snook on the fly rod. Not huge, but he wasn't a little baby either, so I was really psyched. It's the first snook I've gotten on the 2-handed fly rod. Everything about it felt right. It felt natural. It felt like I belonged, like I knew what I was doing, and I was super happy about that. So tomorrow starts a new week, new Sunday for me, you know. And today I'll round out in about an hour here. I'm going up to my friend's house, and we're going to have birria. Birria is one of my favorite foods. It's just a Mexican stew, basically, often made with beef, but originally made with goat. And they used to make this stew, I think, just to hide some of the nasty flavor of some of the old goat around here. And the goats are a little better taken care of now, so not as bad. But anyways, it's going to be my first time having birria made from goat, so super excited for that. Have some original stuff. It's a very authentic place that I'm in, and so yeah, so next week we start again, or tomorrow I start again. I don't know if I'm going to fish or not. There's supposed to be huge waves tomorrow. The surf is coming way up, so I might try it. I might go goof off in the desert. I don't know. I might even go fish the estuary tonight. I'm not sure yet. But that's kind of Mexico. You don't really have to make a plan. You just kind of go with the flow. This laundry episode was brought to you by Snook. Snook, the coolest fish in the ocean.